my channel. I have so many new subscribers, and I just wanted to start by saying I'm so excited. We're building a little strong but mighty army, okay? And I'm so happy to see all of my new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and comment on the video so that we can get a little boost if you guys are liking what you're seeing. So today we're going to continue on our decentering men. I don't know if we're going to call it a trilogy or a saga, but I wanted to kind of talk about another part of this journey that is, again, a self-reflecting, inward developing factor in the process. So today's video is going to be about how to become your own dream girl. And one thing that I thought about when I was embarking on this journey initially is how much of our life we put on hold in the hopes of getting into a relationship, or how much of our lives we mold after becoming a woman that is aligned or supposed to be a good wife or have wifely qualities or motherly qualities, and just how much we put into our rebranding and our development of ourselves that goes into trying to fit a mold to fulfill this life goal. But let's say that life goal isn't a priority, or that life goal isn't a goal for us anymore, or that life goal is just not something that we're thinking about for the next year or several years. That doesn't mean that your self-help journey has to be on pause and that you can't do things to better yourself. So I want to talk about this idea of becoming your own dream girl and living for yourself and creating the identity of a woman that you love and that you are inspired by and that you wake up every day excited to be. Sometimes it's easy for us to feel like we have to have a man to complete us. But the idea of becoming our own dream woman or our own dream girl is realizing that we can complete ourselves. The whole full version of ourselves can exist on our own, and we don't need a man's help to do that. That's a journey that we can embark on alone and with our friends, our community, and we can be really successful in doing that. So let's talk about that process. When you think about the person that you want to be, you have to think about the vision of her. So how is she? How does she dress? How does she speak? What type of job does she have? What type of money does she make? Where does she live? Who are her friends? What are her boundaries? What makes her happy? What makes her sad? What makes her feel stressed? What makes her feel anxious? And start kind of pinpointing those ideas in your head and showing up as that woman on a day-to-day basis. How I started going on my whole rebrand, because, ooh, girl, that's a whole, to be honest, that's an entirely different video. But I have been very, very intentional about my rebrand, personal rebrand, and how I just show up in the world. And my style, my composure, my confidence has drastically changed. Like, maybe I'll put up a picture or something, but if you could see the Amani that was walking around 5 years ago versus the Amani that I am today, it is a whole different person. And it's not something that's happened overnight, but it's a very intentional decision that I made and that I continue to make every single day with my choices. And it's something that you guys can do too. So showing up as your new self is gonna be something that takes baby steps. I remember one of my first instances when I was talking to one of my first therapists, because I've had several. One of my first therapists years ago, and one of my biggest things that I had to overcome was people pleasing. I was a people pleaser, so help me God, and that was with men, friends, work, that was anywhere. It was a response of mine that I could not help, and I felt like I would never be freed from. And the idea of, you know, someone possibly disliking me or getting mad at me for saying something that, you know, went against the grain was so scary to me. And my therapist came up with the idea that I started doing it in small ways. So one of the first ways she told me is, if next time you go out to eat and your order is brought out wrong, ask the waiter to take the order back and then reiterate, you know, what your order is. And that is such a small example, but it really teaches you how to speak up for yourself and reassert a boundary, because boundaries aren't going to be something that people just automatically respect. In order for our boundaries to be respected, we have to stand on it and be firm. And it scared me initially. Pause, guys. It scared me initially to have to do that, because I was just like, you know, what are they gonna say? What if I lose the relationship? What if they wanna talk to me anymore? What if my friends don't like me anymore? And she was like, Amani, if you do this with a waitress, it's not the end of the world. This isn't a person that you're gonna have to see again. And if you do see them again, it's not a relationship that's detrimental to your life. So just test it out. And that was the first time I did it. She brought me out a water when I asked for a Sprite, and it's scary and trembly my voice was at the time. I was like, hey, can I get a Sprite, please? And my cousin always makes fun of me for that day because she was there. But that was one of the first times that I started standing up for myself in a very, very, very small way. And each day those things got easier, and I picked up new examples and better ways to continue to do those things in my everyday life. But that was one way that I started to rebrand my self and my habits, and started showing up as a different version of myself that I wasn't even sure that I was yet. But it was a way for me to get practice becoming her. And the same thing when you are changing your fashion, when you're changing your hair, when you're changing the relationships in your life, when you're distancing yourself from people. Things are going to feel uncomfortable in the beginning stages. It's not going to feel natural. You're going to suffer from some imposter syndrome. You're going to feel like you're doing something wrong or something out of bounds. But the more natural, the more you do it, the more natural those feelings become. It's just like learning a new skill or learning a new language or playing a sport that's new or trying a new food. Things are going to be a little different. It's going to taste a little odd to you in those initial phases. But the more that you show up as that person, show up as her today, the more real she feels to you, the more tangible that woman is to you, the more close that it is. You don't have to throw out your entire wardrobe, in one day. That's not something that you have to do. But what you can do is you can get rid of that shirt that's been in the back of your closet that you ain't touched in 3 years, okay? You're not going to grab the shirt. You haven't worn it. Let it go and buy a new one. And just slowly start removing those pieces that you don't resonate with anymore, and start welcoming in energy that resonates with you better. And if it doesn't resonate with you in the present, again, have a vision for who you want to be and how you want to be. And slowly but surely, those things will start resonating with you easier, and you can start making those changes a little bit at a time. So my first step in my personal rebrand story was getting on Pinterest. I love Pinterest down. It is my favorite social media app. Megan Thee Stallion said something similar recently, but it's the easiest social media app that you can have because you get to curate what you see on your feed. If you don't want to see negative stuff on your feed, you don't have to. You get to curate the life that you want. And Pinterest is a perfect example for this whole becoming your own dream girl thing. You are going to Pinterest-fy your life just like you would a Pinterest board. So what I started doing is I made different boards for different things that I wanted. So I had a board that was called New Wardrobe. I had a board that was called New Home. I had a board that was called New Hair and Beauty. I had a board that was called Self-Care Practices. I had a board that said Career Goals. I had a little board for everything, and I may screen record what my boards look like and insert a clip on here just so you can see. And then I slowly started curating my Pinterest to reflect how I wanted to curate my life. So all of the clothes that I saved to my New Wardrobe board may not have been clothes that I had at the moment, but it was helping me get inspired by the style that I was desiring to start to have. And before I knew it, whenever I look at stuff, I automatically go to what my new style is, because it is my style now. I'm no longer wearing the things that I wore 5 years ago or even 2-3 years ago. I have adapted into the woman that I was envisioning then. I'm her now. So when I'm shopping, that board is what I look at all the time because it's my style now. Same with my hair, same with my makeup, all of the things. Same with the career goals. Whenever I was deciding to leave my job and get back into the job field and start my own business, I started putting those things in my mind and putting those wheels into place months before I quit. Because I wanted to start getting comfortable and familiar with the idea. The more that you practice, the more tangible this stuff gets to you, the scarier it is, and the more natural it feels to you. Another thing that I started doing was I made myself a vision board too. So it was like pretty much a rebrand vision board. I used Canva, and a lot of the pictures that I saved from my Pinterest board, I put on my printable Canva vision board. And I printed out a giant copy of it that I was gonna hang in my office, but I never did, but it's the thought. It was fun putting all of the things from my other little individual mini boards into one place so I can look at it. And it was kind of like, it was like an agreement. It kind of felt like taking the stuff from the inspo, putting it onto the board, felt like an agreement that I was making with myself that this was the vision for the dream Amani that I wanted to be. The next step in the journey is to start doing all the things now. So I said a little bit about that earlier, but I just want to reiterate that on this journey of visioning, don't forget to pair visioning with those small actions every single day, even some of the big stuff. For instance, in this journey, you want to be comfortable being alone and enjoying your alone time, enjoying your time with yourself, learning about yourself, and not feeling like the time alone that we have today, just because we're not partnered, is in vain and it's for nothing. We can still have all the same experiences that you may have wanted to have with a boyfriend, with a partner, hell, even with your friends. You can still start doing stuff like that alone. I go out to eat at some of my favorite restaurants by myself all the time. I will get dressed to the nines and go to Del Frisco's and, you know, order a whole steak, have me a couple of cocktails, and just have a good night vibing out by myself. You know, there's nothing stopping you from living the life that you want. There's nothing stopping you from being that beautiful woman that you're envisioning on somebody's arm. You can still be her without having the arm. You can just be her for you, and it kind of hits even harder. So start doing those things now. Start picking up those hobbies now. If you want to pick up tennis, or you thought it would be cute to do doubles tennis with your man, just pick up tennis. If you were thinking about going on a vacation and you were like, oh my God, this would be so fun for a vacation, just go on the vacation. It don't need to be a vacation. It could be a girl-cation. It could be just you. It could be a family vacation. You don't have to wait until you're partnered to do the things that you want to do now. Be her now. Another tip that I have on this journey is just to give yourself grace, guys. Looking at yourself and saying, you know what, there are some parts of me that I really mess with that I think are stellar, and there are some parts of me that I really want to improve on, and then there are some parts of me that just no longer align with who it is that I want to be, and I'm ready to move on from those things. There's nothing wrong with looking at yourself and making those decisions, but just give yourself grace for the woman that you were all along. Love her, forgive her, apologize to her if that's something that you need to do, but there's no shame in rebranding your life. There's no shame in trying to live up to a new ideal you. And give yourself grace in those moments that you don't show up as her yet, because again, this is a journey. You're not gonna do all of these steps and then wake up tomorrow and immediately be this dream girl. This is gonna be something that takes time, but continue to give yourself love and grace and support, and talk kindly to yourself. Speak niceness and life into yourself every day on this journey, and just enjoy the process. It's not overnight. All right, y'all, so that wraps up our video. If you like anything that I had to say, please let me know in the comments. If this is something that you've tried to do, please let me know. I would love to hear about your journey. And if you have any tips or advice for other women going on their dream girl journey, please leave that stuff in the comments. There's another video that I watched from a different creator last year who made a video about like your 2024 rebrand. I'll be sure to link that video in the description because it's a really good video, and she's the one who inspired me to do some of this Pinterest stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll try to be here at the same time again next week. I'm trying to get consistent, but I just appreciate all the love and support in the last video, and I will see you again next time. Peace.